Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast episode number 10. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello, and today I'm going to be talking about what it feels like to be an author. I get asked this question a lot, and I always try to figure out what to say or how to say it or how to verbalize it. So I'm going to share with you today what it's like to be an author. I'm going to share my thoughts and what my journey's like and what the process is like and the whole shebang. So to be honest, after I published my first book, it was kind of surreal. It was more of, wow, my book is available not only just in the country that I live in, but around the whole world. It didn't really hit me until I was on Amazon and I typed in my name in that search engine on the top, and then it was like, oh wow, this is real. You really just published your first book, and now the journey really starts. When I published my second book and I went to, type in my name, my first name filled in and then my last name would automatically fill in. And then at that point, it was like, okay, wow, reality's really setting in. So, to be honest, I've published a lot of books in such a short amount of time. So now I'm used to it now. I'm fine with it. Now it's just growing my audience. And now, this year I have, made some conscious decisions on, how I'm going to go about it. And I'm not going to go the whole traditional way of the way everybody else is doing it, which is Amazon ads and Facebook fan pages. And yeah, that's kind of old news. I'm going a different route. And, that's going to be the fun, exciting part. Now that I am, living alone and, I'm in my own place and I live on the West Coast and the weather's better and I'm in a new city and, a lot of things are kind of coming along. I feel like, God is, kind of shifting me in a certain direction with my journey and where I'm going and me being an author, a whole lot of things. So the next aspect of being an author is, the celebratory stuff, celebrating every little accomplishment, right? I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. I do not celebrate a lot of situations that go well for me. I don't celebrate when I publish a book now. I'm just at a place where it's what's next? What's the next project I need to work on? What's the next thing that I need to do? So, in my mind, I'm thinking of, okay, I published a book, but how are people going to know that I published this book? It's to create the creativity and the mindset and, it's that, whole process of, okay, publish this book. It's great content. I hope people see it, notice it, buy it, things of that nature. And, it's like, all right, I got to record a YouTube video. I got to get behind the microphone and do this next podcast. It's time for me to write these next few books. So there isn't that much time to celebrate. Have I sat and reflected on a lot? Yeah, I have. And I'll admit, I've accomplished, so much, in my life. I've, graduated high school and graduated college and, I've worked for some of the biggest companies, not only in this country, but, in the world, and it's, it's this whole like, oh, let's celebrate everything, let's be happy, feel accomplished, but I'm never fulfilled. I think my sense of fulfillment is going to come when millions of people are reading my books and they're realizing and understanding how many social issues and societal issues that we have in this world that we don't speak about, and we don't talk about it enough, and we don't put these issues to the forefront, and we don't, do our due diligence. We sweep a lot of things under the rug, and I think that is more important to me than, hey, I published a book, time to celebrate. Like, no. My celebratory days are over. I think after the first about 3 or 4 books, I was quite done with celebrating. Everyone's like, oh, congratulations, but no one's buying my books or posting anything. So at this point, it's like, well, I got to work my ass off way more than what I should have to. But it's part of life. It's part of the journey, right? So does it feel good to be an author? Of course it does. It's one of my biggest accomplishments of my life. It outbeats getting a college degree, and it outbeats graduating high school. It outbeats all that stuff. It just does. There's always more to write. There's more stories to share. There's more people to meet and talk to about, not about not just my content and what I'm doing, but it's talking about just everything that's going on in the world. All the societal issues that we face on a daily basis, right? So, to be honest, I guess, the Aquarian in me won't let myself get too high or get too low in this whole process. Because for me, I've learned that there's no overnight success, and I know that my books are different. It's not the traditional read. I don't spend tons of money on fancy book covers. A lot of my book covers are made by me. Living Life to the Fullest, I Woke Up a Black Man, the Struggles and Growth series, the Kids with Guns series. All of those book covers were made by me on my own. The World in Ruins. So a lot of my books, those book covers are made by me. Formatting, the first like 4 or 5, they were done by people, and then I decided to redo them myself. I taught myself how to format books. After writing books, you have to write the synopsis, which is, the back part of your paperback, and, the synopsis goes on on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all the other bookstores that you choose to. So, celebrating, it's just not my thing. And then you got to think, my books are, written in a prose format. So it does turn a few people off from reading it, but you know what? I've learned that my content isn't for everyone. My goal is really to allow readers to get an insight into my books and give them the opportunity to get inside of my mind, which is the reason why I'm doing this podcast. I'm opening my doors up to life as an author and what goes on in my mind. And, it's the start of, everything that I do and all the work that I've put in. And, the process of, writing books and how I write them and what I've learned and, how to really be a good writer and how to draw readers in. So I will say as an author, it's not easy at all. It does take time, dedication, patience, energy, being consistent in writing daily, and and just effort, all out effort. And I've made my share of mistakes, you know. I'm not going to sit here and act like everything that glitters is gold, because it's just not the case. I'm still a work in progress with being an author. It's a whole different business and realm. And I'm still learning a lot of things along the way that I look forward to sharing with you, and look forward to sharing with, authors, that are doing it right now, and, people that want to write books. I've had, some good opportunities to help people with publishing their books. And, some people want to, be small and, not make it a huge deal out of it. They just want to, do that and check it off the bucket list. And, then there's the people that want to really inspire and motivate people through what they've experienced in their lives, and, write a nonfiction book and self-publish it on their own. And I'm in the process of helping someone with that right now, and it's fulfilling. It's good. It's good to give insight and give a little advice, and, nudge them and say, hey, let's get to work. And they got a lot going on, in life, and we're all busy. We got a lot going on, but how bad do you want it? And I always say that. So, in hindsight, being an author is great. It's fun. It's a lot of work. It's way more work for me because I'm branching out and utilizing a plethora of platforms now. I'm, going to start utilizing Instagram a lot more. I have a YouTube page. I have a podcast that I'm talking on right now, and then I still got to write books and create book covers and, format books and edit and proofread, and, I have a clothing line now. So, I have a lot of things going on, and, I'm, working on, getting into the writing of, short films and, screenplays and things of that nature. That's, a future endeavor that I'm really going to pursue. And, that's just, a small chunk of what goes on in my life daily. So not only am I just an author, I record my own audiobooks and I sell them on my own site. And, I go through the process of doing that daily. So just imagine sitting here recording 20 chapters of a book that you've written, and you're spending at least 3 to 4 days at a time doing this. So this is what it's like to be an author, and also a podcaster, and also a YouTuber, and also a screenwriter. I have a lot of things that are on my plate. But I didn't start all of it all in one shot. It was a process. Everything was, a progression. I've revamped my website 3 times. I've changed the name of my website 3 times. Yeah. This is part of the journey. So what I will say is that it's all worth it to me at the end of the day. I've been blessed by God to have this gift, these talents and abilities to write and storytell, and I enjoy it. So with that said, that's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening. Please feel free to look into my books and my ebooks and things of that nature. You can find them on my website, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, iTunes, here, there, everywhere. My clothing line, you can find that on my website also, and you can find me on Instagram. I'm Aquarian Mellow. So I'm gone. Wednesday, motivation, inspiration. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.